Welcome back, everyone. It has been a long fucking time since we've done anything music related, and I know COVID's just been a shit to everyone, and in this world has just exploded in any form of human decency anymore. But we are back, and we are joined with two members of a local PA band, escape artist, good friends of me and my co-host. And all right, we have their singer, Arron.
Aloha.
The guitarist, one of the guitarists, Tyler.
How's it going?
And we have, as usual, Atlas here, who speaks when he deems necessary. But a lot has happened since the last fucking episode, long time ago in a galaxy far away. First thing that's got to be addressed before we get to the interview with the escape artist, the passing of Eddie Van Halen is probably one of the worst things to happen to the world besides a virus. It really is. It really is. It hit the music world in such a way. I would you say it would be a similar thing to like fucking Michael Jackson, like the way his death shocked the world?
You know, me personally, I grew up with both of those artists as a kid, especially Michael, in the beginning, right?
Mm-hmm.
He was just a sensation, literally ruled the world of the '80s without even trying. So like he was always around in my house, and then once I discovered Eddie, it was something completely different. It was a completely different feeling for me personally. I don't know. It was a very life-changing experience to hear somebody play guitar like that, and I instantly wanted to be just like that, and I would not rest until I was able to kind of play like that. And he really started my journey as a musician and pushed it and helped push it, you know. So I would definitely agree with you on that.
Yeah, he was a inspiration to a whole different generation of musicians, and just I think he still is influencing people today. Like, not even like, it's just his brilliance in making just ingenious riffs and licks and solos. Just everything just kept pouring out of him. Like, wow, I didn't even know that was possible, man. He just keeps creating stuff. I'm sitting over here
Right.
trying to play the same riff 7 times in a row, and I'm like, I can't get anywhere with it. And he's just pouring out licks and all things. And I don't know. I guess it's just inspirational to see how people can just come up with new things just out of thin air. And it's like, wow, I didn't know you can put those two elements together like that.
Yeah, and think about the time he started doing that, like early '70s.
Yeah.
Nobody was ready for that.
No, not
Like
not
they
not that style. No.
no way. Yeah, you had the Black Sabbaths and you had,
I believe
Zeppelin, but
in an interview I've watched with it was a later interview. I think it was the early or mid 2000s or something like that. He did, and it was like a clinic he was doing, and he was explaining where he came up with eruption and the tapping for it, and the influence for that was Jimmy Page, and he was doing something similar to that on a live show that he seen when he was younger, and he just built from that.
wow.
That's something, because it's always someone from generation to generation inspires someone to create something different. Like back in the 50s was uh, God, Chuck Berry and few other people. I can't think, Elvis and all these few other people. And then it just moved from like to Zeppelin, AC/DC, and then when Black Sabbath, Van Halen, it just continued its evolution all throughout time. And I don't know where pop came in and destroyed the music industry, but I'll stick with metal, rock, and all that type of shit. So
Yeah, man. I mean,
that's
makes
great.
me feel like no other way. No other music can do or make me feel like the way metal makes me feel. There's no way.
Yeah,
I
yeah.
don't know about you, Aaron, but seriously.
Oh yeah, absolutely same.
There was another person who passed away shortly after Eddie Van Halen, and I believe it was the guitarist from Red Hot Chili Peppers.
Oh yes,
What's his name?
not Josh, but
What was his name?
what was his name?
Hold on, I remember it somewhere.
Man, he was the guy that replaced John Frusciante, right?
Mm-hmm. I think so.
Yeah, the name is escaping me. Oh,
Jack Sherman.
oh, Jack Sherman, that was it.
Yeah, that was it.
Oh man.
That's still though. But
No, yeah.
I didn't
Any
know.
loss
I
in the
didn't
music
really
community is
follow
rough.
Red Hot Chili Peppers too much, so I didn't know they have different lineups and different people coming and all that stuff. But I just seen red guitars from Red Hot Chili Peppers. I'm like, oh god, no.
Yeah, just it makes you feel like what is this just like one by one people's heroes in the music community are just gonna eventually pass on, and then you have to be met with this weird feeling of how do I accept this, even though
Mm-hmm.
it to others it's not going to seem very much of a big deal, but if you're like
Yeah.
me and yourself, certain musicians just leave a staple on your life and your influence in such a way that it literally hurts. Like when I heard about Eddie's passing,
Mm-hmm.
my heart sank to my stomach
Yeah.
instantly. I did not feel the same after hearing that news, and I
Instant
still don't.
instant denial. Like, no, this no.
I
Don't
was like,
fuck
I
with
don't
me.
believe you.
No.
I was like, why would you even say that to me?
It's like just
Like,
go
are
back
you
in your
really
room.
trying to-
Just go back.
And then I go online. I'm like, oh my god, it's true. I can't believe it.
Yeah.
Like he was. I did eruption for my talent show in middle school. That's how much he really meant to me. To go in front of those kinds of like people in middle school who didn't really like me, for one thing, and to just do something I really loved to do and have that confidence. He helped kind of give me that in a very discreet way just by listening to his music and his charisma alone. That's the kind of man he was in real life too, from what I've seen.
Yeah.
You know,
Plus, he wasn't ever egotistical. He never got full of himself. Like, oh yeah, I created all this fucking inspirational music. All these people look up to me, and it's just gonna go straight to my head. Now, I think he was the coolest guy you could ever meet. He was it was a great. I can't. It hurts.
I know it's like what there's not enough words to say about it. You just start stumbling over yourself because it's a hard loss to take.
It really,
As a guitar player.
really is. And then I know you said a little bit earlier that all of our idols are getting older. You know, like all like the big four is getting older. They can't really like fucking Slayer retired last year.
Yeah, more than once.
Yeah, it's just I can't.
more than once.
No, this ain't a Kiss reunion or retire. Farewell, like seventh farewell in a row. No, they haven't popped back up again. At least not that I have seen. But still, I'm like, damn, that sucks. Metallica's getting older. Megadeth's fucking Dave Mustaine had cancer and shit.
Oh yeah, that hit me pretty hard for a minute there.
Yeah. And then it's I don't know. Anthrax is still kicking though.
Yeah, I haven't heard anything too tragic with them, which is very, very great and ironic considering their name.
Yeah.
It's just ironic to me. I don't know, but good for them, right? They're doing good.
Yeah.
I'm excited to hear something new sometime
Yeah.
soon. Hopefully.
Yeah, they're doing. Yeah, they're doing. I know they haven't. They have. I think they're doing one more album. I think they're doing one more, and then they're gonna tour for that album, and then I think they're retiring.
I mean, they'll be leaving behind a great legacy.
Oh yeah.
Sure.
Definitely Mustaine and his ingenious melodic riffs that are just. If I tried to learn so many of them, I was like, fuck, my fingers don't work this way.
The spider chords.
Yes, those the fucking licks. It's just I don't know.
Wake Up Dead, right?
Huh? Yeah. Wake Up Dead. What was it?
Dead.
Tornado of
It's like
Souls.
back and forth. ridiculous.
Yeah, I know. It's just fucking.
It's a good exercise though if you really want to pick up your speed.
It
Tell
is.
you what.
It is. Yeah, I know. I do know that it is. It is crazy, and then the music still. I still listen to it. I mean, I don't listen to it as much, but I still fucking enjoy it till this day. And I just want to hear what.
Right there with you.
Just want to hear what else he can put out before it's fair. I think even Metallica's working on it. Fucking quarantine's got so many musicians popping out music, and I'm sitting here twiddling my guitar strings.
Yo, even AC/DC came out with a new song
Fucking
like a week
hell.
or two,
Yeah,
a week
I
or two
know.
ago.
Yeah. God, everyone's
Yeah, dude,
bored.
that threw me for a loop. I was like, oh my god, they're still doing it. Brian's back. What's going on? I remember when Axl Rose was filling in for him because he was like going deaf or something.
Oh yeah, that's just great.
And
Yeah,
now
that was
he's back on
horrible.
the call.
That was horrible. Axl Rose. Nah, I can't. No.
I don't know.
I don't know if he's chilled out over the years, but it doesn't. It just don't work. I can't see that working. I think I watched the live show that he did. What?
Oh, was it a Rock Am Ring show or something like that? But
I
I saw like
think.
little clips. It didn't fit for me
Uh-uh.
personally.
No.
I was never really into his vocals to begin with, except for maybe like what
Look,
Appetite for Destruction.
that's
from
it.
Right
Everyone just stop. It's a start and stop for that band, for that album. That's it. That's it. You don't go any further than that album. You go like the next one. You're like, oh.
Right. I felt that way too. I mean, but again, the musicianship though has always been very interesting to me.
Yeah. Yeah.
Slash has always been a great writer,
Mm-hmm.
songwriter, guitar player, obviously. I don't know. I think Axl Rose was definitely like the one person holding them back, even if he didn't realize it in the beginning, because obviously he was just too concerned with being a rock star.
Yep, living in a moment, but whatever.
Something
Whatever
like
that
that.
shit. All right. Well, since we got here, we got to talk about you guys. You guys, escape artist.
Oh no, not us.
Oh no! We suck again!
Oh no!
No. I listened to the one you guys have on YouTube, and I will link that in the description for whoever wants to go and check them out. If anyone listens to this, I don't know if people will. we'll figure it out. But no, this song, I really like the song. It was really. It is nice to see that people still put their own way for music. It's different, creating your own sound, your own unique twists and turns, and the nice flow with it, and the personality that everyone, real determined musicians do for their music, instead of just copying someone else and pasting it and just doing it for exposure, views, and all that shit. You're there for the music. You're not there to. I mean, eventually, I know you guys are aiming for popularity, but I know it's mainly for the music, and you can hear that in the song itself.
Thank you, man. Holy crap! Like we really appreciate that.
Yeah, it's the same thing. I'm not as talented as a guitarist as you. I can't do the fucking noodling and all that shit, but I cannot. I can't. I just can't. My fingers don't work that way. I just want to chug till I die. That's it.
Hey, man, chug along. You know me. I love them meaty riffs.
Yeah. But it's still, you try to express yourself through the music, and if you don't hear like a personality or someone's way of playing or a certain tone or just the way things you try to fit or glue things together, and I don't know, there's a connection that listeners and bands have with each other, and if it ain't there, then it's just noise.
Yep, noise for just a purpose of existing.
Exactly.
At that point.
Exactly.
Personally, it's funny that you mentioned the creativity and creating your own sound and trying to stand out, because I personally believe a big part of that comes from all the different backgrounds that we come from musically.
Mhm.
You can almost hear it in the music. Like it's not a very. I feel like the song that we have to show for on YouTube, is very representative of the different styles that we are all into.
Yeah.
Because it's very different across the board.
Mm-hmm.
Aaron can even tell you that he did not necessarily get into like the classic metal stuff like Metallica as much as I did growing up, but he grew up with some from his own stuff growing from his background, you know. And Brent grew up with like the really classic rock, like the Doors, Lynyrd Skynyrd, Zeppelin, much like I did. But I also got into the thrashier bands like you did.
He
Slayer,
did
Anthrax,
the psychedelic approach to it. Yeah.
right. And then we have Gavin, who has like a very alternative influence, like from Nirvana and the grunge era.
Yeah.
For the most part, along with newer metal bands like which is where we all find the common ground, which I find the most interesting aspect of our band.
Yeah.
I feel like that if we continue to just always believe in the individual influences that we have and learn and continue to coming to the table as a group and really remembering why we do this in the first place, we will never sell out to whatever label or whatever media company that has a lot of popularity wants to do with us. It's more important to maintain our integrity.
Yeah, you can stay away from the people that like, well, we'll get you a record deal, but here's the deal.
Right, that's there lies the problem.
Yeah,
we're gonna take 80%.
Not even 80%. No. They're gonna say we don't want these types of lyrics. We don't want this type of music. We don't want that. We don't want. They just completely strip your band's, your music's uniqueness and just put a bland flavor and a label on it and try to sell it.
And don't do none of that screaming bullshit.
What bullshit?
Yeah, that'll come in there somewhere. And it's just like, come on. What century are we in?
21st?
10th.
You know, like at this point, metal has grown in so many different ways.
And I hate, this is something I really do hate about. There is something that the old metalheads just don't understand, is that how music can evolve but still be as heavy as they discover the band. Like Metallica, every band's got their ups and downs. And I know everyone says they sold out and then they lost to thrash, but what if they just couldn't create something to compete with fucking Master of Puppets or Ride the Lightning or Kill 'Em All? They just get, all right, let's see what else we can do, and we're just gonna forget Reload, Load, Lulu. But they did have some good songs, but and I still listen to it just to see how their mindset, because they were going through a fucking weird time that no one has ever been before, with the amount of fame they had, the following they had, and just the pure, like, completely just go as far, do whatever you want, and don't give a fuck. And they did fall back. You know, James had to go to rehab for his own personal reasons. He came back. He expressed himself through Saint Anger, and Lars apologized for the snare drum. Still a good album, though.
He's like, I'm sorry for playing drums on that album.
And then you have some of these people, I understand, it's their original following. They're like, nothing, I will not listen to anything past Master of Puppets. I'm like, dude, what the fuck? What is wrong with Death Magnetic? Like, seriously.
Everything, apparently.
Overall fan of Metallica. Some songs I don't like because I don't like it.
If you don't like it, don't listen to it. There's fucking hundreds of songs you can listen to. It's fine. Even did a whole cover album.
Now. That's not good enough for some people. Some people, if they don't like it, it has to be destroyed.
Yeah, I know. And I think all of the Big Four went through weird changes and different styles, and let's try this, let's change that tone, and it's been ups, downs. What was it? And we'll go to a new metal band like Slipknot. Oh, their earlier stuff, the fucking stab you in the face and sacrifice you to Satan type screaming, and Corey's very personal vocals and shit, going to the weird fucking vibe of like the Gray Chapter and into their new album. What was it, Unsainted? Or
Yes.
no?
No. Maybe
Ah,
not. It was on there, but that might not be what it's called.
Unsainted is a song on there, but We Are Not Your Kind. That's the name of it.
Yes, you're right.
Everyone's
That's
like,
right.
I don't like it. It's not like it was.
It's probably just like that. It's not. They're just crying in the
Well,
corner.
just
like, what?
turn it off. Take out that CD. And the CDs don't exist anymore. Even though I got a fucking I got like over $1,000 worth of CDs. I still buy them. I don't give a fuck.
Why not,
And
man?
just slap in that old album that you just love and how you discovered that band. Just listen to that and go away with it. So, and in terms of musicians coming together to create something that makes them unique, how did you guys come together?
Well,
Oh boy.
I mean, if you can summarize it, it's fine. But it doesn't matter to me if it's met him across the street. He played drums. I went over there. Fuck it, let's try and make something. And then he's got a friend. He's got a friend. I don't know how this shit works. I never had a bandmate.
oh man, that makes me sad, bro. 'Cause
I never-
I would play music with you.
No
every day.
fucking shit. I would definitely do that, but I never had that opportunity.
It will happen one day, I promise, bro.
One
But
day.
One day. One day. So I don't know if I want to have Aaron start this out because he technically met Brent first
Mhm.
when they were kids.
Well, that has nothing. That has nothing to do with how the band formed. I just knew him since childhood.
Okay, that's fair. That's
That's really
fair.
it.
All right.
It all started with my father.
Go ahead. Tell him how you guys used to be a cover band and yada yada blah.
Oh yeah. So it started with me wanting to just kind of finally try to come up with the confidence to get a band together after this talent show happened. I just felt like it was the right moment to really, I don't know, explore trying to be a musician in a band after, diving into Metallica and Megadeth, Slayer, all those bands that
Mhm.
we like obsessed with when we were teenagers. And like see the good times they had and how much fun they were having doing it. I craved for that moment. I craved for that feeling. I just wanted to have it. I knew it was going to make me happy for the rest of my life. Outside of my beautiful girlfriend Megan, of course. But seriously,
Gotta put that in there.
Is she watching?
There's a knife behind his back right now. Yeah, you better fucking say that.
I wanted to
She just
That's
turns
right.
She turns around. Good boy.
Surprise, motherfucker.
Start singing.
What?
Anyway.
No, music was it for me. It was the one thing that cured whatever was wrong in my life. I always came back to it feeling better than I ever did. So
Everyone here is the same way. Music has helped us one way or another.
absolutely, it's the strongest force in the universe, if you ask me. But,
Hell yeah.
I don't know. So
Especially if it has double bass.
yes. I met this person named Darren and met him early on when I moved to Pennsylvania from where I came from, which was New York. And he was like one of my very first friends here, and he and I had very similar tastes in music. So I started to play guitar. I was getting pretty good, or good enough to play like easy songs that I thought sounded cool. And then he got, influenced by that and wanted to get a bass. And we just kind of started learning together, and I taught him what I knew, and then we learned together. And then one thing led to another, and then eventually we meet this person named Brandon and his brother Ben. Brandon Harmon and Ben Harmon. I want to give them a shout out because they're great people and they helped shape my music world. We all kind of got together and we just started playing cover songs of songs that we really liked, and we got more and more songs to cover, and that kept us a lot more refined over time. And we were doing that thing for a while until I was about 16, things started getting weird between my friend Darren and I, and he I don't know, just kind of seemed off. He wasn't really telling me what was going on. And then eventually he kind of hinted at the fact that there was another band interested in him and he was kind of interested in it. And we kind of left it at that and kind of never really talked about it after that until one day he just kind of showed up for band practice. And he kind of got his stuff together with his new group of guys and just kind of left. And that was that, which was kind of weird. And I didn't really know what to make of that, even though we were nothing really serious. So I didn't really know how to feel about it. It was just kind of like, okay. You know what I mean?
Yeah, I know. Well, I don't know what you mean, but I can relate to what I guess other bands have gone through.
Yeah, it was just it was hard to understand and really grasp what he had done because he was obviously happier with where he was going. I guess he just didn't really know how to tell me without kind of hurting my feelings. And I guess around this time, I left out something, and I'm sorry, I don't know why I did, but shortly before this happened, Brandon and Ben had to move back to where they grew up for some sort of family related topic, and between that moment in time, Darren actually met Brent at the Watson Inn, which is a restaurant type of bar place in Watsontown where I was growing up when we, were starting to get more into what we were doing. And for a while, he was doing really well because he was trying out to play drums because Brandon had gone back to Iowa with Ben, who played drums for us, and Ben was just kind of around hanging out, playing bass here and there, along with Darren. And Brent was a very good drummer for what we were trying to do. Like, he was extremely good at what he knew, learning by ear like I did growing up, and Darren and Ben. And then there was something very solid about the way we would play together. It just felt different. Felt more different than any other lineup we had before, even if it was just playing covers. And I just kind of knew at that moment that Brent and I were one of the most solid like musicians to play together. Like, I have never played with somebody that was so much more I don't know, I'm trying to find the word and it's not coming to me right now.
You just clicked.
Yes, thank
Passionate?
you, Aaron. Yes, it was passion and it just clicked. Like Aaron said, it was just like, this is what's supposed to happen. And then, after Darren had done all that and went off with this other band that he wanted to be a part of, we started discussing becoming an original band and started writing our own songs. And we shortly met this other guy named Robert, who was our vocalist, first actual legitimate vocalist. We never really had a singer before this point. And Robert, started working out. And then, he had some issues that he couldn't really work out at the time. So we had to kind of let him go. And he kind of mutually understood that. But it was kind of bittersweet because, we all got along. We were all friends. But it just never really worked out in the end. And between this
Big sad.
point, what's up, buddy?
It's a big sad.
Yeah, it was a big sad. But leading up to that, we were practicing at the place I was living in Watsontown in this shed, and it was a really nice space for band practice, And eventually we had to kind of move. My mom, stepfather, and I had to move to a different place because we couldn't keep the house we were in. So we ended up moving to Penns Creek. We had to find a new place to practice. And for a while, we were practicing at Brent's mother's place. And since that day, we were practicing there for like the next few years to come. But we will get to all that eventually. But after that, we started, looking for people to take this seriously. And Gavin, who's the other guitarist in the band, was always kind of there, kind of always around to hang out, but never really took it as seriously as I was starting to until like a little later on. And then eventually Brent, Gavin, and I were looking for a vocalist and a bassist. And we eventually found one person. I don't know if you want to keep just diving into the story here. I didn't know if you wanted to ask me anything else, but I'm just going to keep going if you don't want to stop me.
No, that's
But,
fine.
all
Trying
right,
to figure out when Arron came into picture here because he's like,
I'm actually
I ramble. I'm terrible at it.
I'm actually the newest member, so
oh shit,
Dude, and it doesn't even feel like that. It's so weird.
that's a good sign, though. That's a
yeah.
good sign. It's always fucking positive because I have a friend I met at work last year, and it feels like I have known him for 20 years. I swear to God, that's just how our
you meet someone good.
that is how our conversations go. It'll just be like completely fucking just flow. And like, we start out a conversation talking about one thing, and next thing we're talking about fucking bacon or some shit. I'm like, what? Wait, how did we get here?
That sounds like our band to a T. It really does.
That has a great sound.
We're just so weird. That's the best way I could put it.
Like, man,
But,
we're not
yes.
on this planet to be fucking normal. If you are the weird one.
I humbly agree with that statement. But yes, we are getting to Arron very shortly. it's gonna get interesting.
We just met him yesterday.
That'd be hilarious though.
he's been in our band for about 5 minutes.
Yep, I asked him. That's how we got the spot. I was like, "Hey, you want to be on a podcast?"
He was screaming on the street.
Yeah, I wasn't in the band until the podcast was a thing.
So funny.
And then he just kind of found me and was like, "You want to be on a podcast with me? I don't have anybody to talk to with. I don't have anybody to talk with."
I don't want to be alone.
Yeah, it's like, who are you screaming at? What? You don't hear those voices?
Anywho, continue on.
Let me record that.
I had to meme off track for a second, so.
No, you're good.
All right, so with that being said, getting to Arron shortly, Gavin, Brent, and I are looking for a vocalist and a bassist, and we stumble across this person named Chris, who actually my girlfriend Megan knew a little bit more than me at the time, and he was really nice. He was a very good friend as well. He was pretty much like one of the boys, you know what I mean? He had a difficult past, but we obviously did not judge him for that, and we gave him a shot at the band. And he was a fairly talented vocalist when we first had him start trying out, you know?
Barely. Just poking at
that? I didn't catch
it. Yeah, he said barely talented.
No, he said
I said fairly. Sorry.
yeah.
No, you good. I'm just poking at you.
I mean, like he knew what he was doing. He knew how to achieve what like the tones and stuff like that. He knew what he was looking for, and he gave it his best, even to the end. Even though
Rip.
Condition, even though his condition that he was in, mentally at the time, limited him from really being his best. But in the beginning, he was very good friend, great bandmate. Things were starting to look up. We started, writing songs together, and we just started to begin to realize, slowly but surely, that the connections between the four of us weren't as strong as with Brent, Gavin, and I. And we were kind of wondering why, and we just didn't really know what to make of it. We were just kind of like, we'll just keep pushing through this and hope for the best and see what we can do. And he would try to, Chris would try to help us with writing songs, and nothing would ever really, I don't think he could ever really stay focused. And he had a hard time articulating what he wanted to convey with like the songwriting. Nothing just ever really stuck. and it would always be on to the next thing, and we would always just kind of focus on what Brent, Gavin, and I wanted to work on because it was the center of attention indirectly. Like, I don't know, it's very hard to explain, but
I
shortly
kind of get it, understand a little bit of it.
yeah, I mean, I don't know, it was something just didn't add up, and shortly after we started noticing that, he actually wanted to try and play bass instead because he used to play guitar earlier on in his life, and he thought might as well pick it up for bass if we need a bass player that bad. And with that being said, we started to look for another vocalist that could do, like we could have a dual vocalist type of thing and have somebody play bass at the same time, so we would have the complete package and see if that could work out. And we started looking around, and eventually Brent got a hold of Arron, who was very busy for a few years before he finally actually got a hold of him, according to what Brent would say, I guess. But we got a hold of him.
I don't
We got
recall that at all.
What?
I don't recall that at all. What do you mean very busy?
I don't know, man. It was
Okay,
so
I
long.
guess. Well, yeah, I was in another band. To be fair,
That's true. That is true. I forgot to mention that he was in a band at the time. And actually, if you do you want to
that
cover this
sucked
topic?
asshole.
Do you want to talk
Fucking band
about it?
sucked. Do I want to talk about it?
Yeah. I don't know. It's up to you. I have no
I don't
range.
really know. Whatever. Well, I was in a band with my girlfriend at the time, and we played a show, and it was garbage. so everybody was like, "All right,
Is that the band name?
we're gonna not do this anymore." It was called Approach the Dawn. You can't really find anything about them.
Okay. I wasn't gonna look, but
They
You
were
said
called
it's
Approach the
garbage.
Dawn, and we played a show on Halloween Day,
yeah.
a cover show, at the Champ, which was a venue in Lemoyne, PA. It's right outside of Harrisburg, which is now sadly closed, unfortunately. Big sad. But we bombed pretty hard, and that band broke up. And then Brent got a hold of me and was like, "You want to try out for our band?" I said, "Fuck it, I don't have a band." And I went in, and I got on their dinky little itty bitty PA system, and Brent and Gavin were the only ones that were there. And needless to say, they were impressed with my ability and hired me on.
Which leads me to my introduction to his vocals.
Amazing.
Which I met him once before when he was still a part of Approach the Dawn, back when I was still practicing with my cover band.
Yeah, we actually played in that little shed that you were talking about earlier.
Yes. You guys came over for a little bit. I remember now. Anthony was there too, right?
He was.
Yes. Oh yes, we will get to Anthony as well.
Because he was the drummer in that band.
Yeah.
But continue.
He was very good too. But yeah, I remember watching them cover a Crown the Empire song, and they sounded phenomenal. I was like, oh my goodness, this is really good. Why aren't they like actually professional? But what did I know at that point, playing, covers just from old metal songs? But what I heard sounded good to me. And honestly, the best part was the vocals. And looking back, it makes total sense, even though he improved since then, of course, too, as we all do in our musical journey. But when I finally met him again, to cover Ochi Loco, which is a song by Of Mice and Men, which was our warm-up song getting together for the longest time. And we ran through that, and I was freaking stupefied with how he sounded. And we were like, okay, no question, we're gonna continue on now with Arron as another addition as our vocalist. And after that moment, we were starting to really realize we had something special here. Or at least I thought that. And shortly after that, we were attempting to make a name for ourselves. And before we became escape artists, as you know us now, we went through lots of different names. Before I had even met Brent and Arron, and we were called Backlock, which was a name that I came up with at a young age, and I always thought it sounded cool, so that's what I attached to the cover band. And shortly when we started, changing a few members, and we got Chris and eventually Aaron, we called ourselves Ashes of Raw, because we thought at the time, with the way we sounded, that was it just kind of fit what we were aiming for. And shortly after that, we were kind of trying to find a sound for ourselves, but there was always these factors kind of prolonging progress within the band. And just, I'm sure you can all relate to this. Life gets in the way of everybody at some point in their
Fuck
lives
life,
more than once.
man.
Bro, life has, yeah, I don't even want to get into that. So,
It's all peachy till the G string snaps.
right. I'm going to remember that. That's a good analogy. I'm going to say that at work. So between this point, I can't remember if I had joined the Art of Deception before or after Aaron joined our band, but I was asked to join a band called the Art of Deception as a lead guitar player because they had recently were looking for one, and to just perform the stuff they had written live for live shows. And they had asked me to do it. And at the time, what we were as a band wasn't really anything professional. We were still trying to figure out our sound. We were trying to figure out who we were as a group and where to go, because we were still dealing with, many things. We were, we didn't know much of anything. But so I had agreed to join, or at least go in and try out. And I was in that band for about a little over a year, as well as Ashes of Raw, which eventually became Escape Artist. And I was in the Art of Deception. I had learned lots and lots of things from being in that band. I I absolutely had a wonderful time being a part of that band, and being a part of an EP that they got to write. If you guys don't know who the Art of Deception is, please go check them out. They are phenomenal, and they will absolutely love hearing from you and checking them out if you're into the really heavy stuff. But I learned a lot of things, and learned a lot of what not to do and what to do, just by watching and experiencing things. And eventually things in the Art of Deception were uh, taking a change in course in life, as like I was saying before, and I had to step down and focus on myself and focus on my friends and my personal band, because that is what really mattered to me more than anything. Um, it mattered to me more than being a part of a band that I didn't connect with on a personal level as much as my own, if that makes sense.
Yeah, it makes sense.
And shortly, after that, we started discovering that Chris was becoming very troubled and very, he was always very tense around this point. I don't want to give away too much personal business, because I don't mean any ill will toward him, if by any means. But he had this relationship with a person who was very manipulative,
Yeah,
and very
that's
conniving.
very understandable on that one. I mean, I have no experience in that, but I have seen it many of times.
Yes, it could be a awful thing.
That's a sad demise for that person.
Yes.
Yeah, you probably shouldn't divulge too much out of that, though.
Yeah, no. Long story short, he was a part of this relationship, and it clouded his judgment to the point where he saw us as more of a problem instead of the solution, or his friends, for that matter.
I already know the type it is, so that's cut and dry for me.
Yep. So with that being said, we'll move on. We were then looking for a bass player because we have Aaron, who's very, very much a great friend of ours, and there's no problems there. So that's great. And
Buttering up
we're
those
looking
biscuits.
Ooh.
Oh man. So we have Aaron. We're looking for a bass player. We stumble across a friend of Aaron and Brent's or I wouldn't say like I don't know. I guess you would say a friend that they went to school with in Milton.
Yeah, he was a great guy.
Yeah, and I mean he still is. I always got
I was
along
about
with
to
him.
say was.
No, he's still around. He's still around. But
No, he did, son. No, just kidding.
No, his name is Anthony, and he was actually a member of that Approach the Dawn band that Aaron was a part of back in the
Yes,
day.
he was the drummer.
And he, Aaron kind of asked him if he was interested in meeting up with us to see if he was interested in being a part of our band as a bass player because he knew how to play guitar. And he said, "Sure, I'll come down." And then, things worked out right in the beginning. He seemed really interested. He was very excited. And as like the months went along, I think the interest just kind of shifted a little bit, and his life was taking a turn that was not going to work with our band involved with it. And we were very understanding of that, no matter how things might have seemed throughout all the time that led to that point. There is a mutual understanding between all of us now. And the important thing is we just want the best for him and just want him to have a good life and a happy life. And he basically got married, and we were, very happy for him, and he ended up moving. So we just kind of carried on without a bass player. And we just kind of focused on the four of us and what we really wanted.
So who does do the bass work?
We currently do not have a bass player still. I write bass parts at home. Like for our demos, I bought a bass, like a $250 bass. It's nothing special, but it gets the job done for the kind of genre we are. So that's all I need.
That's fine.
Yeah. And I tried to use it for the studio as well, but unfortunately it couldn't work out. Which is, it's unfortunate, but what can you do? Gavin ended up coming in the clutch for that one, which was awesome, and he killed it. So until we find somebody to play bass, we are currently just a 4-piece. And I don't know. I just think it's before we invite anybody else into our group, they gotta really understand what they're getting themselves into. Of course.
Look, if you're gonna join a band, it's kind of like joining a relationship. If you're not committed, it ain't gonna work out.
Exactly. And we have all understood this in many different ways in our journey as a band with the four of us. We've made some big steps in our lives recently, especially Aaron over there. But I'm proud of him, and I'm happy for him.
Is he very tall?
No.
I have I'm very cheesy puns. I can't help it. He said big steps, so.
That's great. I didn't understand it, but now I do, and I just love it.
I have the mind of a 4-year-old that can't help it.
He walked up the whole step.
Whole flight of
Nah,
stairs
fam,
with one step. Jesus Christ.
How do you do it, Aaron?
It just comes naturally.
Damn.
Now, what he means is I just bought a home and / new practice space for us all to practice.
That's what I was about to say. Studio.
Dude.
Maybe someday.
Yeah, I mean, who knows what the future holds?
I'd love to be able to produce our own music and have it sound good.
Lovely.
That'd be a lot cheaper.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yes. Lots to learn, though.
Yeah.
Still much to learn. I
Anyway,
have.
are we still explaining the entire lifespan of this band?
I'm like,
Yeah,
all
sorry,
right.
off topic there. Yeah, so we, at this point, we are just a four-piece, figuring out what we want to be, what we want to sound like, just who we are. And shortly after that, we start getting the wheels turning, and we start writing these songs that we're really proud of. And we start understanding like the sound that we are and what we have. We really solidify it and just kind of dive into that.
Putting Aaron to sleep over there.
What?
Sorry,
He's yawn.
I usually have a first shift job, so this is about the time I start getting tired.
It's only 9:50. You're a musician.
I'm old and fat.
You ain't old.
Anyway,
I don't even know how old you are.
I'm 26.
Jesus Christ, you're 3 years older than me. Fucking
See?
I told
old.
you I'm old.
You're not old.
Fucking grandpa over here.
What'd you say?
My knees hurt all the time. Anyway, go on,
So do mine.
Tyler.
Drop some dirt in it, you'll be all right. Yes. Anyway,
The more you know.
we eventually
Discover yourselves.
come up with 6 songs that we feel are very solidified. Wait, did I skip something, Aaron?
I don't know.
What'd you skip? You tell me.
I think I did.
This is an autobiography.
This is
Yeah, this is a very long explanation.
Yeah.
Sorry, yeah, it is. Anyways, I'll just go off from that. Eventually, we solidify these 6 songs that we really believe in, and are just very happy with.
Worship.
And we talk amongst ourselves about saving up some money and finally getting these songs out there. And we started our progress back in July, and we are, I don't want to give away too much, but we are nearly complete with what we need to start putting out more content out for people to listen to. And that makes me unbelievably happy that this long journey has finally led us to finally like getting what we want out there for people to finally hear, and all the hard work that we put into all this and all the stuff that we've been through as a band and individually to be out there for people to check out.
That's awesome. I can't wait to hear more things you got packed away in the trunk there.
Packed in the trunk in the back there, bud.
In the caboose.
The caboose. To go off of that point, I forgot to mention the experience of recording the single we have out, which is Forever. And that was when we were going through a very transitional period within the band, which I think ended up solidifying the 6 songs that we ended up writing later a lot more, because we learned a lot from that experience. We were like 5 guys that didn't know what to expect out of going to a studio with no demo ready.
Wow.
That was nothing. We went in there with literally the knowledge of the parts.
Let's wing it.
But like the thing is, we knew what we needed to play. It wasn't like here's random pieces.
Yeah,
Let's put it together.
I
was just saying. But I mean, people do that. It's very interesting, and you can kind of tell what's what. But sometimes. But that was a very new thing for us, is because we were not prepared with a demo for the producer to go by. He just, we went in there a little blind, and he was a little blind, and he kind of had a solid idea of what the rhythm would be like.
Yeah.
But that was about it.
Have you guys played the song together at least? or did you just like?
Pretty much.
Well,
No, never.
I mean, you never know. Sometimes you're like, you might not have like a full song, but you might have. Well, we got this track, and you'll record it and you'll put it together somehow, and you'll listen to it and see how it sounds. But playing it is a little different than just having each track and everyone just knows their part and playing it together as a band. I don't know. Remember, I ain't got no experience in this shit. Give me a break here.
No, you're good, bro. You're good. It's a very interesting experience, to say the least. Like when we're all together, especially, that's when the real magic happens. Like that's when we write our best stuff.
That's awesome.
There is a song on this EP that we've been working on that has a lot of all four of us putting an input on the song.
That's good.
And I'm so excited for people to hear that, because it's, in my opinion, one of the best ones that we've ever written.
Oh, yeah.
I just hope it slams like it does for us, for other people.
As long as it slams for you, that's all that counts.
Oh yeah, man, absolutely.
Of course.
Hell yeah. It's been a wild ride, and I cannot wait to continue it. I have the best friends by my side as well, and I wouldn't trade them for anybody else.
Mm-hmm.
I don't think I would even have as much fun without them.
Hell yeah, brother.
I'm all alone
It's
here.
literally like a family.
Oh, I'm craving that experience.
And cold.
I'm just sitting here going,
oh no, we suck again.
But it's me, not me. No, that's cool. It's cool to know how a band forms. It's because, to be honest, I never went through it. I don't know if anyone else knows how people go through it. It's like, oh, well, they just appeared out of nowhere. I don't know where the fuck they came from. No, anything.
It really kind of was like everything fell in place that, right place, right time.
Even though you're sitting there,
thing.
In reality, shit's going on behind the scenes. In reality, it's like, why is this shit happening? I don't get it. I don't understand. What? I can't see. Fucking next month. I don't know what the fuck's gonna happen.
Right, you just don't know. Don't get me wrong. Like as much as we all get along with each other and love each other, like what relationship doesn't have their problems? Like it's never an easy ride.
No.
Oh yeah, our band has definitely been through a lot of trials and tribulation.
Growing pains.
For sure.
Growing pains. That's all they are.
Especially specifically with member changes, honestly.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's. I guess.
And that's the thing. You don't ever want to put them in a bad light just because they're an ex-member. It's
no.
I feel like there's always
look
like
at
weird...
fucking Megadeth. How many guitarists has Dave Mustaine just shuffled?
Too many, bro.
All have brought different sounds and all have brought different techniques to it.
That's true. What was it? From Marty to what's his name? Chris Dover. Those two are two different people, and they brought two totally different flavors to Megadeth.
Yeah.
Marty was, in my opinion, one of the best guitar players they ever had, but Chris was really great too, and I got to see Megadeth live with Chris, and it was cool because I knew they were changing members soon, and that's shortly. I think it was shortly before they got Kiko in there, and Chris Adler.
Chris Adler's a fucking beast.
Yes.
I thought you were gonna say something horrible.
No, why would I say something horrible about him?
Because the way you said that, you're like, Chris Adler's a fucking. Thought you were gonna say some horror shit after that.
Fucking terrible drummer.
Aaron just sitting there going,
what the fuck?
Fuck you saying to me?
You better not. You better not. Oh, all right.
Okay, we good?
You treading water now, motherfucker.
Oh man, yeah.
That's cool.
It's definitely not been the easiest ride
No
at
one
all.
said it was
but
going to be
it's been-
easy. No one gave you,
And
you
see,
know.
like it's funny. I grew up watching Metallica's history. The things they went through were, no one would ask for that. Seriously,
No.
losing Cliff. No, who would ever ask for something like that to happen?
Fucking no one.
And
No
it was
one would
such a
ask.
tragedy. He was
No.
so young, never even seen the world for what it truly was yet.
Mm-hmm.
Same with Randy Rhoads, stuff like that. It's like bands go through intense changes sometimes. And don't get me wrong, there are bands out there that are just same members from the start, everything's perfect. And Parkway Drive is a good example of that. Like, I don't think they've ever had a member change since they started, except for maybe one person.
When the hell did they start?
Back in, I want to say 2002.
Ah, okay.
That's when they became a band, and then they put something out officially with a label in 2006. But they went through like maybe 2 changes of one instrument before that moment in time, which is so rare for a band to just keep going that strong with no changes before they even become anything.
Well, Slayer was. Slayer didn't really go through many changes.
True.
I mean, they did with
Dave.
Yeah, Dave and Paul. That was really the only change. Going back and forth with them too.
It was nothing.
And by the way, Dave is definitely
that was also another
the.
tragedy.
I think Dave is the superior drummer.
I agree.
If you just go and listen to the difference of albums, and you just see how I know. Not saying Paul's bad, just that when it comes, if you want Slayer, you want thrash, and if you want thrash, you need Dave.
That's right. He brings it every time.
Yeah.
That's what made Slayer what they were.
Mm-hmm.
In my opinion. Same with Jeff. Without Jeff, it's never been the same either.
Yeah. Like when their last album, Repentless, fucking Carrie did all the writing.
You could tell.
He did all the writing. Gary came in to do solos that Carrie had written.
What?
I believe so. There wasn't. It's not like him and Gary were sitting in a studio going back and forth with riffs like he would do with Jeff, because Gary was still with Exodus.
That's true.
He was doing both jobs at the same time, which is like fucking kudos to you, man.
I can't imagine that.
No, but I think what made it easy is that because they toured together or some shit. I think they did tours near or with each other. I don't know. I don't know how they did that shit.
I'll never understand it.
I don't know, but he's fucking loyal. That's all I'm saying.
Yeah, you're right about that.
I'm gonna go with this major thrash band, but I'm still with you.
I'm still with you. Don't you worry. And then he's like, you get the gig of a lifetime. If you're into that music, you go into the studio with Slayer and nobody's there except you, and you're like, all right, time to do your part. 3, 2, 1, go.
Yeah, exactly.
Like imagine what that must have felt like.
Shit bricks. I can't.
Dude, I would not enjoy myself. But kudos to him for making it work, like I said. And now, he's written some pretty dope stuff.
Mm-hmm.
I love Exodus. They're a great band.
Yeah, definitely.
Phenomenal musicianship.
Definitely. I can sit here and talk for bands for hours.
Yeah, dude, telling me.
Fucking music. Well, that was great. That was great to know the entire history of your band. I mean, I was interested, but I'm like, summarize it. But
Tyler's just a very thorough person.
So much that happened.
Yeah, I know. It's a lot. It's a lot. Fucking. All right. I gotta get this. Atlas, what do you have? You've heard their music. What do you think? Because you have the most specific fucking style of music you listen to, which is, fucking Satanism death metal from the 80s with a tape recorder.
Oh, hell yeah.
In the fucking...
Give me that black metal shit from Venom and we're good.
Bathory, weight, yeah. That's why I'm a power lifter, so that's why I trade by 2.
He needs to lift with things making him summon Satan. Nothing wrong with that. It just sounds like
Everyday
genocide
thing.
from across the street.
His weights have pentagrams on them.
His weights are pentagrams.
He's like, this ain't nothing. I could do it with my finger.
I'll lift it till I raise Satan.
Wow. That's amazing.
Anyway, I didn't even hear anything he said.
Atlas, you gotta speak up, man.
Oh, sorry. I was shopping on eBay.
Shop.
Yeah, from my phone. I shop on eBay.
Okay. What are you buying? Protein powder?
No, I already have that. I was buying some books.
We don't
Oh,
need to
nice.
know your shopping list.
Well, you asked.
Oh god.
I mean, I played a
maybe-
couple rounds of Rocket League.
All right.
Maybe some prostitutes.
Oh god, no.
Okay.
All right. Well, it was great having something because this is actually this podcast's first interview ever. This is the first time we had someone outside of this podcast come on. No, it is the second time, but it's more of a formal interview with a band. So it was great having everyone on here. It's great to know that to stay in touch with my fucking longtime friends. Like seriously,
Yeah, absolutely, man. It's been great catching up.
spoken to you in fucking years.
I know life is crazy, dude. Never find the time or the right time.
I know I just knew he was in the band. I'm like, all right, fuck, I gotta talk to you about it and how it happened and all this shit because I probably had opportunities just fly by me and go, oh, well, there they go.
I'll trust you, dude. I know I've let some things go too, stuff I'm not proud of. But what can you do? You make up for it later on in life,
Yeah, just
the best you can.
keep on jamming out till you find your fit in this world, which I guess it's hard to fit in the world.
I mean, yeah. I mean, I don't know.
I make my own puzzle. Fuck that.
Basically, that's what we said. We're just like, why don't we just do what we want and hope somebody likes it?
That's great. Well, I hope if people are still listening, I don't know. It has been an hour, but check out Escape Artist on the link. I will provide it. You guys are a little hard to find on YouTube. Just saying.
That's fine. We don't like that song anyway.
Oh. You need to start putting more shit out. Maybe like teasers of different stuff. Maybe Tyler can do like a playthrough of the song itself.
Yeah, we've been thinking. We've been getting ideas going of what we can do with this EP coming out because we want to give people as much to take in as possible.
Yeah.
We don't want to leave one.
Don't worry, man.
Unturned,
The content's coming.
Content will
it
come.
sure is.
I'm
It's
just thinking of
content.
stuff that some bands are doing right now. Like Lamb of God does like streams and shit. Dragon Force does like Twitch and shit. What was it? Trivium does their stuff. They just I don't know. They're just trying to.
Extremely active.
Yeah, I know. Definitely, just on their fucking jam and whatever the fuck he wants to do, and it's just like that.
Smartest thing he ever
interaction.
did.
Oh yeah, I think he launched that type of shit. Like, oh, he's doing it. What the fuck? Yo,
Yeah, dude,
we got internet,
he gets
right?
thousands of watches.
Yeah, it is coming. We have music coming. We have more content coming. We have things to look into. It'll be great.
Yeah, we're so excited, man. The hard work is finally gonna pay off.
Well, that's nice to hear. It was great having you guys on here, and it's great talking to you again. Maybe we can have you guys on
Great
for something
talking
else.
to you, kid.
Guys are always invited to come on.
Thank you so much. Thank you for having us here.
Yeah, man.
We're just intrigued that anybody's interested about our band at all.
I
So,
am.
thank
Man,
you.
that's-
Especially with how our lives have been going lately, it means a lot.
Oh yeah. Any way to get your mind off the world and anything that's bugging you, fucking just turn the music, blast it, and enjoy yourself. This has been
I could not agree more.
This has been the Right Tracks, and we'll see you in the next one.